excited. Is it going?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
Hello.
My name's Lavender.
Hi, I'm Madelyn.
Do you want to kind of go over the idea that you had?
Yeah. So I just thought that it would be fun to come on here, me and Lavender, and just have like conversations about different topics, and not like any specific one topic, but just to talk about things. And I think that people can enjoy that and give their own feedback or their own ideas about different topics, and maybe resonate more with Lavender or more with me, and we can just have a conversation. So yeah.
If you need like ambiance on your drive to work or while you're doing something, washing the dishes, and you want to listen to some fun, familiar voices and feel like you're in the living room having a conversation with some friends, that's kind of the vibe we want to go for. We're not going to edit anything. We're just going to keep it pretty raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess we can talk about like how we met and our story a little bit, and yeah. So let's see. We met like a couple months ago.
Was it only a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It feels
like it's been at least half a year.
When was it?
I was with Joey.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was like in August or September.
Yeah, because it must have been August, because we broke up like the very beginning of September.
November, December, January. Wow, so February would be 6 months.
Okay, yeah, so it is about half a year.
Okay. That seems actually more than I thought for some reason. But yeah, so we met at a coffee shop called High Point, and at the time I was like determined that I was gonna do like every Saturday night High Point coffee open mic. We're both musicians, so like when Lavender was performing, I was jamming out with her, and when I performed, she was connecting with my music, and we both just kind of bonded, and we had like
it was really sweet.
Yeah, it was really sweet. It was like a 5 to 10 minute hug, I swear. Like someone started performing right after me, and I like went right over to Lavender, and we just like hugged and like shed some tears.
Bit,
yeah, it was really special. And so I feel pretty bonded to Lavender, and like I think since we first met, it was pretty much like we were like sisters and like long lost sisters. And so we have a tradition that every Monday Lavender comes to my house, typically at my house, and but I also will go to her house like a couple of times.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the drive every time.
Of course.
But yeah, so yeah, let's see. What do you remember from when we first met?
I remember I was pretty socially awkward. I hadn't been out of Amway for super long. I want to say like I'd been out for like maybe 6 months. And so I was pretty like socially awkward. So like I noticed you right away, because you were very like, you sat up front, you were like filming me and like waving at me, like singing along to my songs, and I was like purposely like kind of avoiding eye contact with you, because I was like, oh my gosh, this person's paying a lot of attention to me. And so I was like,
maybe you're like, oh, is this a love bomber?
No, I was just like, I don't want to like come off as like weird if I like pay too much attention to them back, because then they'll think I have an ulterior motive, because that was just like the mindset I was stuck in of like, if I'm nice to someone or I'm too friendly, they're gonna either think that A, I have a crush on them, or B, I'm trying to recruit them to a pyramid scheme, because that's usually people's reactions when I'm really nice to them. Right. And so I was just like, okay, I'll just try to like play it cool. I won't look at her too much. I'll just like look at everyone else, and I would just like glance at you occasionally.
Yeah.
And then you got up there and like sang your song, and I was in a really dark place that day, and just wasn't doing good, and my boyfriend wasn't doing good either at the time. He was supposed to be there with me to support me, and he didn't even end up going. We were both just like not in a good place, and then you sang this song that really hit home about how dark tunnels have an end, and it just like I'm like gonna get emotional talking about it again, but it just like really hit home with where I had been at, like with processing being out of Amway and just where I was at on that day. And I remember I didn't even want to go to that coffee shop. Like my roommate invited me because he was gonna go do the open mic, and I didn't really want to. And I was like, I don't feel like it. I'd rather just stay home. My music career isn't gonna go anywhere anyway. But I had already made the commitment to Matthew to go with him. And so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna, cancel on my friend. He invited me, so I'm gonna go. And I was so glad I did, because I heard your song and I just started like bawling, and we just like locked eyes as she was singing it, and I just like started crying, and you were crying, and we both were crying. And then afterwards, you just went right to me, and I swear we just hugged for like forever. And I was like, thank you for existing. I was like, I feel like I remember you from some other life. And you're like, yeah, I remember you too. And we just like hugged forever, and everyone was probably staring at us like, what the hell? Yeah. And then didn't a couple people ask if we were sisters, and we were like, no, we don't know each other.
Yeah, like people were like, oh, you like know her? And I was just like,
no,
we've never met until just now. And I think that kind of just happens when you find like a kindred spirit and someone you were meant to like know and be close with. And so it was really special. And then we like started doing like voice chats and or voice memos or whatever, and I love those.
Those are so fun.
And so that's kind of like the beginning of our relationship, and it's been wonderful to just continue to get to know you and to like incorporate you in every week, in my life. And I really love the energy that you bring to my home and like your friendship, and and I just feel really grateful for you and for what you mean to me. So
thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too. We definitely met at the perfect time.
Yeah. And so both me and Lavender have aspirations to like get to know a lot of people online, to be like a persona online, and to have like positive influence on a broad spectrum of people. Personally, I feel like the biggest thing for me is spreading my music and like just using my talents to affect people in a positive way. And so that's kind of the intention behind this channel, for me at least, is to like reach for that in kind of a backwards, different kind of way. My cat is definitely in heat, and so she's very friendly right now. And so for me, like I feel like it's something that I want to bring to the table, is like my intentions are to use these conversations to generate more attention towards me and Lavender, and so that we can channel that into something productive that we want to go towards in our life. So that I think it's good to be upfront like that, because I think a lot of people might be like, oh, they were trying to be like just a podcast and now they're trying to sell us something, and they're like, people will take it in the wrong way. But really, like, my intentions are clear. And so what are you hoping to get out of this, or like what's your intentions with starting this channel?
Very similar. I was simply not made to work a 9-to-5. I just wasn't. I've looked into every possible 9-to-5 job that I could have, every degree I could get, and none of them are just fulfilling to me. Like, I need to have a greater purpose. I need to be a hero. I need to be able to impact people in a way that I normally couldn't. I can't be an average person. I have so much creativity and so much love and life to give, and I just have so much to share with the world, and it would crush me if I wasn't able to get that out before I passed away. And so, my dream since I was a little girl is to, be a well-known singer-songwriter. That doesn't have to be like, Hollywood well-known, but, enough where I can make a living off of doing something that I'm passionate about and touching people in a way that they feel less alone and they feel understood, and you know, they have someone to listen to and cry with when they're alone at 3 a.m. going through something hard, and they feel at least understood by one person, even if it's someone they've never met. I've had, you know, artists and stuff like that play that role in my life, and I feel a responsibility to pass it on and pay it forward. I also have a YouTube channel that is like my personal channel, and I'm still navigating that. I'm a very small YouTuber, but I'm hoping that through the means of YouTube and or my music, I can not only make a living off of, you know, making my own work schedule, doing things my own way, having creative liberty over my life, but also help people and reach people in a way that I couldn't if I didn't have those platforms. So on my YouTube channel, I educate people about scams and cults and pyramid schemes and just bad people, dangerous people. And I had an experience, I kind of briefly mentioned that I was in a pyramid scheme called Amway. I made a whole video about it on my channel, but I feel the need to pay that forward as well and educate people about what I went through and similar things so that I can potentially prevent other people from having the same experience and losing themselves to organizations and people with malicious intentions. So I guess that's a really long way to put it, but that's kind of my intention. If this, you know, gains traction in any way, hopefully it can also bring attention to those things. So yeah.
Yeah, I really like this idea. I feel like, you know, we literally just talked about it right before we started filming. I was like, hey, I was thinking we should start a YouTube channel together. We could just talk. And Lavender was like, we could just do an intro video right now. And I was like, what? Like, sure, let's go. And so here we are. You know, it's always kind of vulnerable to put yourself out there on the internet, but to me it's worth the risk because I also like have my own things that I want to reach people with, and I feel that that's my higher purpose in this life. So yeah, I think like go big or go home. Like please try versus like never trying. I think that I definitely would rather try and fail than like never try. So yeah. I don't know if there's much more we could say on like this intro video. I guess like families maybe.
Sure.
But
yeah.
what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say go check out her album on Spotify.
Oh.
Purple Magic, Madelyn Hosh.
Yes. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a big culmination for any of you other fellow artists out there. You understand that making an album, even an EP, which is a small album, is a big deal, and I feel very grateful to be surrounded by a lot of really talented people. Davis and Ethan from the band Wilbur were my producers, and Wilbur is an incredible band. They just won the Battle of the Bands in Provo.
Nice.
And then I also had like a lot of creative help with like the direction of the project with Angie and Mike Lee, and they were with Invictavox. Invictavox has now been dissolved, but they are incredible mentors and teachers to me. And then I have Jake Bowen, who is an incredible and very talented mixing and mastering engineer. He's also a producer, but he mixed and mastered all of the album, and he was Grammy nominated for the Hogwarts Legacy soundtrack. And so like I really am only as talented and prosperous as those I surround myself with. So I'm really grateful for that team that made that album come to life. And yeah, so Purple Magic is really a special album, and I think that a lot of people could resonate with it. So please do go check it out, and thanks for the shout out.
Of course. And it has that song I was talking about, the Tunnel's End.
Yeah, Tunnel's End. It's a special song. I wrote it specifically for those who are suffering with suicidal ideation, but in the end, it really is just a song of hope for those who are suffering in any sort of tunnel that they might be stuck in, and just to know that dark tunnels have an end. And yeah, all mistakes tend to blend, and I really do believe in those lyrics, and I actually will listen to it all the time for myself because I'm definitely not healed or complete yet in this life, and so I'm grateful for the reminder, even from my own self, sometimes that dark tunnels do have an end. So I think we could talk about like our families for just like a hot minute and maybe wrap it up, but
definitely. And then did we want to talk about like brainstorm channel names, or should we just do that on the side?
Oh, maybe we should.
Okay.
And maybe people will have their own ideas of like what channel names.
Maybe we could do like a separate video like about our families, and then like
okay,
we
yeah,
could have
good
like, different
idea.
conversation
Okay,
topics.
cool.
Yeah.
So what should we call this channel?
What are some things that like we both have in common that maybe we could incorporate into the name?
Well, I feel like
we could call it like Soul Sisters or something.
we could call it Soul Sisters.
Soul Sisters.
We could call it like the creative combo, or like something like more generic and specific, so then it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's not like already taken, but still catchy.
Like catchy and rememberable. We could name it like growth chats. This is totally off the top of my head, like
Chat GPT.
we could ask Chat GPT.
Let's do it.
What some ideas are. We could call it something like chat with us or something like that. Like something casual, but also like people could be like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to the chat with us. Or I'm trying to imagine people like talking about it, if that makes sense. To like make it more like if it sounds good.
Harmony and hustle. Strings and stories. Ooh. Rhythm and real talk. Life in melody. The soundtrack diaries. Beats and beyond. Chords and conversations. Duet diaries. Muse and moments. Or behind the notes. That's what ChatGPT said.
Can you ask Chat? I do this all the time. If I'm asking ChatGPT for like these specific kind of ideas, I'll be like, make it less cheesy.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of those sound too cheesy for my taste.
Be able to make ones that are less cheesy. I love you, don't hurt me. Wait. Echoes and edits, open verse, in the key of, passing notes, studio sessions, offbeat, the refrain, unfinished tracks, parallel lines, or raw takes.
I mean, we are kind of going towards that raw feeling. Yeah. So I feel like raw could takes. Be something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if we did something like... Well, I do not know.
Raw vocals. I don't know.
Like, what if it was like... Like something catchy, like chats and hats. Like, if we're like to wear hats, you know what I mean? Like something like catchy.
Isn't that corny though?
But like, it doesn't sound as corny as like in like rhythm and real talk. Like,
that's true.
Like chats and hats sounds.
Chats and hats.
It sounds like cheesy in a way, but it's also like just memorable.
Okay.
But it's not trying to be like extra.
I mean, it said like chords and conversations. Is that like...
That could be something, because perhaps we could also like play a new song or play a song on here, and then we can like talk about it.
Yeah.
So it could be in alignment.
True. Yeah, we could incorporate music into it. Like, we could even do one where we like improv something on the spot, or like, I don't know, we could just do different things with music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I like this idea.
Yeah.
I feel like we should
like take more time to brainstorm.
Yeah.
Okay. Leave a comment if you have an idea of what we could call this little podcast channel.
Yeah.
Some ideas that rhyme.
I feel like that it would be helpful.
Vibes and lives.
Tracks and facts.
Chords and words. Dreams and themes. Loops and scoops. Wait, that's cute.
Loops and scoops.
Notes and quotes. Lines and times. Beats and streets. Flows and shows. Rhymes and times.
Interesting. Well, I feel like tracks and facts
Okay.
kind of like
Tones
says
and
something to me.
zones, riffs and shifts, rhymes and chimes, hooks and looks, keys and C's, strings and wings, beats and feats, tracks and hacks, notes and boats, grooves and moves. These are getting worse.
These are getting worse. These are getting worse. Talks and jams, words and chords. These are all. Well, what was that one?
Chords and conversations? Or
yeah, well, there was one that was loops and scoops.
Loops and scoops.
That one
Cute.
sounds cute.
It is cute. We could play with that.
Or like dreams and themes.
Yeah.
Because like themes is like chatting or like conversational, and dreams is like our dreams, like music.
Wait, cute. Wait, I need to really poo.
Okay, well, we're gonna cut this out now, but
leave a comment if you have an idea.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
And we look forward to having you back. Please do subscribe if you like this like if you like this vibe, then please subscribe, and we'd love to see you in the comment section. We'll definitely be replying, and yeah, have a great day.
Yeah.
And